the energy about?
Hyped up.
We went to Scottsdale, Arizona to see Andy Elliott. He had a little event, he invited us. Definitely high energy guy, speaks his mind, is not afraid to speak the truth, whatever he believes in. Millions of followers, he's doing pretty well.
As soon as we arrived, the whole army, he legit has an army of teams that will come up, started like jumping, so shaking hands, high energy. You'll never forget the experience.
Hey, I'm glad you guys are here. If you guys need anything, you guys let me know.
Thanks,
man. Thank you guys. Thanks. That's the way you show customer service. You see the energy, talk about why you're not making a lot.
All right, good morning, everybody. I love the energy in here. Hey.
When I started my company, if I had no other choice but to frickin' win, that might have gave me too much pressure to do it. And I would have said, ooh, I better be safe back here. I don't want to lose and look like a dipshit, so I'm going to be safe. But guess what? I said, well, shit, I can always do it. So write this down. What's the worst that can happen? Because, dude, that's a lot of times the problem is everybody over-dramatizes what's the worst that can happen. Like, you see a girl you want to date, she's gorgeous, you're like, oh my God, she's hot. I always ask, well, why wouldn't you walk up to her? Well, what if she says no? Same thing that's happened now. Like, what's the worst that can happen? She says no. Well, then go ask her. No, I feel dumb, and they freeze. Why? Allodoxophobia. How do you solve that? Well, number one, you decide. Number two, you got to change the way you feel about yourself.
I learned, I educated, I'm changing millions of people's lives now. I'm changing my team's lives. I'm changing my family's life. I changed my life already, and I've proved that anyone can overcome any situation.
How you doing? Can I give you?
When did you get in?
Last night.
How's everything going with the?
Good. I'm getting stronger.
Yeah.
But like I'm not shrinking like a crazy in size yet.
When you look in the mirror, what changes are you seeing?
I'm seeing more muscles, a little bit more definition. My stomach got smaller.
How did the fast go?
Fast was like easier. I'm doing it on Mondays, and after weekends it's just phone ringing and all this. So the only time I think about that I didn't eat it, like at 7 when I get home and my kids are eating dinner, and I'm just like, I'll just go read a book or something and just stay away from the food.
Yeah.
So that's like from 7 to like 9:30 is challenging, but it's only 2 hours. Even before 100-day challenge, I was taking my health to next level. It wasn't just like extreme 100 days, but it didn't all happen just in the 100 days. Attesting to this video, I was doing fasting and other things, working out with different trainers before that.
Let's touch base tomorrow. Maybe on Monday we'll be able to get something.
That would be awesome if I could. Maybe we can have like a quick workout with you.
Yeah.
I was telling my brother about it.
Lightweight, so I can't keep up.
Nah, he's strong. He's strong.
Oh, we'll make you throw up. What happened to him? He did leg. Anybody I trained with, Jason Watson, like, doesn't matter who, I open up a whole nother chapter, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I thought I was training hard.
Good, how are you? How you doing? Ashad, nice to meet you. I gave you an elbow before. Do you mind if we record or no? Yeah, if you're fine. So, your story is super inspiring, how you were homeless and all that. So my brother and I, we came to this country, 14, 12, no English, no connections. So like started really from like the bottom also. I mean, maybe not homeless, but definitely felt like at the bottom. And now
dude, people like dramatize being homeless.
Yeah. I love it. That's my favorite part when you say it.
Yeah, it ain't that big a deal.
It's the first time I hear that. Being homeless wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't that bad.
No, he says that all the time. I'm like, that's crazy. It's a big deal.
Looking at Brad Lee and his mentality, it's like nothing's really that bad. I can't believe this has happened to me. Like there's no victimhood mentality. He's just like, it's not that bad. So he's like, okay, I'm on a private jet today. Yesterday I was homeless. It wasn't that bad. It's not that big of a difference. Everything is mindset, guys. That's crazy.
I mean, think about it. Pretend you don't have anywhere to go and everyone leaves. I like his. That ain't that bad.
Yeah, for sure. Well, honestly, when we didn't have but we were still at peace, like we had each other, like brothers, doesn't matter for fighting people or just playing games, like nothing much changed, like, like, okay, we got a driver license, I'm driving Acura, or I'm driving a Ferrari. For me, it's like, it's a lot more for a lot of other people. Oh, how'd you get that? Like, we were already cool before we even had the money, like, this is just an add-on. But it's pretty cool that, like, people like yourself, I think we're doing okay too, like, we, again, came here with nothing, no English, and now we have $25 million in revenue, 200 people working for us, about 100 doors. And obviously basics, but it's
Proves
cool.
it can be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we can do it, like you said, if I can do it, anybody else can. And then we feel the same way. Like if we did it, I guarantee you anybody else can do it.
So a lot of people, what they do is they go, hey, I want to be a guru. I want to help people. Oh, I'm going to help them start a business, but they've never started a business. I want to help them, get rich, but they're not rich. They're trying to get rich.
Yeah, by doing
showing you how to get rich.
Right.
You got to go do it first. So you guys are like freaking halfway home. Now all you got to do if you wanted is turn around, start helping the people that you used to be. Yeah, if you guys want, come to my personal branding workshop, May 10th and 11th.
Oh, we would love to. Thank
Go
you.
to bradlee.com/branding. I'm going to break down in 2 days a whole blueprint.
For real? Damn.
That's awesome.
But I'm going to be breaking it down there. We're also going to be doing it right in front of people, and you're going to be walking away with a blueprint. It's like 48 pages that tells you, everything I do for my podcast, all the equipment that I use, all the systems that I use, exactly what I do. Now, some people aren't going to be able to do it, so there's going to be alternatives where if you can't do that or you can't afford that, then do this.
Yeah, so we just hired a guy. He's starting with us April 29th, the videographer with the whole shebang.
And you got to train him, and he has to understand what it is he's doing.
Yeah.
Because, somebody's going to be eventually making content, right? So, all right, see you soon. So, for example, if I'm your video guy and I'm just, if I'm your video guy and I'm just sitting here like this on you the whole time, that's one thing. But if he's talking, and then I might even step back and do one of these while you're talking. No. Why? Because dude, that's footage that could be used. All right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's little things that they can do knowing there's content that can be used. Man, why didn't you turn? One time I was talking and I wasn't doing anything, and the footage was just me going for 20 minutes. And I'm like, hey, dumb. He was talking.
That's hilarious, bro.
And
Brad is talking about me right now.
and he's like, well, bro, it's about you. And I'm like, well, no, it's about who I'm talking to, what I'm doing.
Yeah.
The whole bit. Dude, use your brain. Because right now, what's important also is where are you? Who's talking? So if you went home and you didn't get any of this footage, no one would know you were in a big old thing.
Beautiful place.
This is actually much better this way.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? I was sitting there doing something, and my camera guy came in and he said,
This is what I'm talking about with Zero too.
And it's before I was making content like most people, and it didn't really work. It hit a little bit, but I was in a bad mood. I had going on. I was dealing with all kinds of. I run real businesses. I don't do this. A lot of people think I do this. I don't really do this. I have businesses. So I'm on the phone with the customer, employee walks in. So anyway, the camera guy kept coming and going, we got to make content. Finally, I looked at him and I said, just turn the camera on, bro. I am the content.
That's my favorite, because it's I don't want to sit down and make content. Us working, we are the content. Our ultimate goal is we want to show people what we do and how we operate. It's really hard to stage it unless you're an actor. We're not actors.
The raw stuff, I think, is the most interesting stuff.
And then I went back to my phone call and I was being a smart. I didn't really mean for him to do it. I was just being a. And so I went back to my phone call, and then an employee walked in, and then I forget what happened during the day. And then at the end of the day, he takes all that footage and uploads it to the drive, and editors in a whole other state go in and start chopping up and making. I don't even know what they're gonna make. And I forgot that I said turn the camera on. So at the end of the day, I'm like, I didn't make content. So I text my team. I'm like, hey, sorry, I didn't get any content. They're like, this is great content. I'm like, what are you talking about? When you were saying that, when you were saying this, because you won't naturally say that when you look at the camera and try to think it up. You got to make sure there's value in your post, right? Do you think there's value in that post? If you're like, not really, well then why'd you post it? You're trying to give value. There's a book out there called The War of Art. Now most people say
Not the Art of War.
that.
Yeah.
No, it's The War of Art. It's Stephen Pressfield, and basically he talks about when you feel that resistance, that you're kind of scared. That's exactly where you should go. Like you use that as a navigator. So it's like, if it's easy to do, that ain't what you should be doing. You should be doing what's hard to do, because that's what makes you grow.
That's true. Wow, that's a really good point.
And then pretty soon nothing scares you, and everybody's like,
Dropping-
"Dude, how'd you do it?" And you're like, "I just started doing shit that scared me." Hey, have you guys seen that clown that hides from gay people?
No,
You haven't seen it? Must be hiding from you.
yeah, it's
I think it was a good networking event. Through Andy Elliott, we met Brad Lee, a couple of other cats, and then we got in with Brad Lee, got on his podcast, went to his seminars, met more people there. That's how networking works.
It's a chain reaction. Like you never know where you're gonna end up.
Recommend to people to get out there. Don't be afraid to shake hands, kiss babies, get to know people, come up to them, ask what do you do for a living, this, that, connect. You don't know where it's gonna take you in life. We're just getting started. We don't know where it's gonna take us. We'll see.
Don't be that clown hiding from people.